I'm back with my live feed with a couple simple practices you can do to help relieve some neck and shoulder tension. And this is like my first live video that's like, hey, come to this live video. So if you are on here watching, please do chat or say hello. I can't really see anything that's going on. So what I wanted to offer you were a couple simple practices, like I mentioned, to relieve neck and shoulder tension. And if you're at home and you can gather a couple blankets, and if you have any essential oils handy, the ones I'm going to talk about today are bergamot and marjoram. And bergamot's a citrus oil, and if you are going to use a citrus oil with me here today, I recommend that you dilute it with at least probably 75% oil, a carrier oil like jojoba or let's see, fractionated coconut oil, olive oil could work, argan oil could work. And then for the marjoram, I also dilute that about 50% in a carrier oil. I typically use jojoba oil. It's great for putting on the skin, and we avoid any skin sensitivities. So what I wanted to talk about first, I'm featuring neck and shoulder pain this week, and what I wanted to bring to everyone's attention is that a lot of times our posture is what really creates the neck and shoulder tension. And I brought a chair here just to kind of show you what happens if we're working on our laptops or computers, or whatever. We might be sitting here with it on our lap and we're looking. And if you'll notice, all of my head is leaning forward, my shoulders are coming forward, my back is rounding, and all of these things create a lot of stress and tension in our shoulders. The other thing, we are under an incredible amount of stress right now in our quarantine, and so we're holding a lot of tension, and people naturally, when I see people in the clinic, they're naturally tighten their shoulders, especially their upper traps, and really holding a lot of tension up here. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to grab my oils here. I'm going to take an essential oil. The essential oils I use on AcuPoints, it's called Aroma Point Therapy. And again, I'm going to start with the bergamot, which is a little bit of citrus oil. And I'm going to put just a drop on my hand. And my bergamot is diluted. I use about 15% bergamot in jojoba oil, which will prevent you burning in the sunshine. So if you're going to go outside for a walk today, or it's hot and sunny where you are, just be mindful of that. And if you don't have any citrus oil with you, you can also just imagine the fragrance of something really refreshing and citrusy. And then what I want you to do is take that drop of oil, stick it between your fingers, smell it a little bit, and then bring your finger that you put the oil on, bring that to this point right here in your ear. There's a little nook that your finger should just fit perfectly on. This is called acupuncture point Shenmen, or ear Shenmen. And it is a great one just to relax the nervous system, brighten, cleanse, give some perspective. And what's great is that if you can hold it here, even if this is all you do today is hold this point for 1 to 3 minutes, you'll have a chance to just take a nice deep breath in, remembering that your shoulders might be creeping towards your ears, so just trying to descend your shoulders a little bit. And doing this practice is really wonderful for just calming the nervous system. The pressure that I'm holding the point on my ear is just barely on the surface. And then once you feel just that energy shift, or maybe just a little bit calmer, really is what pressing this acupuncture point does. The acupuncture point name is called Spirit Gate. That's what Shenmen translates to. And it's known for relieving pain. It's known for calming. It's really quite an amazing point. Next thing I want to do is grab my marjoram, which is something that we cook a lot with. So you might not, if you don't have a marjoram essential oil, you could find, maybe you have some herb that's in your herb cabinet that smells like marjoram. It's a little zesty, and it's got like a greenish kind of fragrance to it. And marjoram is another one of my favorites for relieving nervous system tension. In particular, I find it's actually really fantastic for the neck and shoulders. So I just put another drop of marjoram. I dilute mine to, I think mine's actually at 50% dilution. And where I'm going to show you that I place it, I put it on the top of my traps here. So if you just find that nice midpoint, I'm going to cross my hands just so it's a little easier to see where my hands are going. But I'm going to put just right on the very top center of my upper traps or my shoulders here. And again, just resting my hands there for 1 to 3 minutes. And again, if you don't have the oils, just visualizing and just putting that that gentle touch on your shoulders actually can do quite a bit just to melt the tension there. And again, I'm just hardly touching, laying my hands on it. And I can already feel my breath just starting to descend as I press this point. This acupuncture point is a great point for what we call descending the chi in the body. So if we're holding all of our tension up here, and I needle this or I press on this, it tends to just allow everything to calm and settle back down. And I mentioned on my intro video today that I was talking about spring energy and that it's very, there's a lot of growth and we are ready to bloom, and yet we're cooped up in our homes, working from home a lot more than we normally do. And so we're just feeling, like I said, kind of cooped up. It's just kind of the opposite of spring energy. And if our shoulders get all tense and bound up, it's really hard to actually grow smoothly and flow easily. So just giving a little acupressure there. Okay, great. So I'm on my chair and we talked a little bit about the posture. Now I'm going to show you just some simple yoga poses you can do to help with your posture. So I'm going to do a chair chest opener, and then in a minute I'm going to show you how to do the chest opener on the floor because I find it to be super relaxing. Hi, Gia. Okay, so what I'll show you is that you can take your hands like you're going to do a crunch or something like that. So I'm going to put them just gently behind the back of my head. And it's really just, my hands are just holding the weight of the head. I'm not having my head tilt back at all. And then if you have a dining room chair or a fold-up chair of some sort, I want you to see if you can find that back of the chair hitting right about the base of your shoulder blades. And you're just going to gently roll back over that chair, making sure your head doesn't drop. Not that it would, but we just want to take the effort out of our neck. And we're going to give a little bit of a back bend to our mid-upper back. And this is going to help relieve that rounding that's happening when we're working on our computer or we're typing or looking at our phone. And then after just a few breaths here, we're going to go ahead and sit up. And then I'm going to show you with, I'm going to show you with some blankets on a yoga mat. So you can use a nice thin blanket like this in a rectangle. This is perfect. A pool noodle works great. And I have some thicker yoga blankets. Those are actually, if you're not used to doing a chest opener, they're a little much. Even the foam roller I find is just a little too much. We want something with a little bit of a give. So we want to be kind to ourselves. We have been working hard, so it's important to be gentle. All right, so I'm going to take my roll and I just laid it across my yoga mat, but you don't have to have a yoga mat. Just lay on your floor with a nice rolled up blanket. And then I'm going to lay down on my side so that the blanket roll hits my armpit. And then I'm going to turn onto my back. And then my knees are up in the air for the moment. My arms are above my blanket roll if it's comfortable. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of lift my tush and scoot the flesh down and then walk my feet out if it's comfortable for your low back. If your low back is feeling any twinges, go ahead and just bring your feet back to the floor and let your knees be pointing up towards the ceiling. And then the chest roll, assuming that you're comfortable in this position, you can stay like this. And if you feel like, oh, this isn't doing anything, you can take your hands and bring them into what we call cactus arms or field goalpost arms. I'll just show you what that looks like. I can never say field goalpost right. So the arms can be like this. I invite you to go from that T and then like slowly move like this. If your hands are like picking up and lifting away from the floor, that means that you're a little bit tight in your shoulders, which I'm guessing you are if you're watching this video. So go ahead and ease them back down into that T position. And if the T position also feels like it's really uncomfortable, you might need a smaller roll or even no roll, or B, you can rest your arms on top of your roll, so you can be back like this. Another important detail, I'm going to grab a little pillow here to go with, is if you have a really big roll that you're laying on, or your neck is so conditioned to being forward like this, you almost definitely are going to need some sort of pillow for your head. I just grabbed a little sofa pillow, but even a folded up blanket or towel would be perfect. And what you want to do is get back into that position with the roll underneath your armpit, so it's hitting underneath your shoulder blades. And then if you notice that your chin is lifting up, pointing up into the air like this, you want to grab a pillow and just scoot it so that your chin and your forehead are level. And this will actually just support your neck and being in a nice neutral position for you. And then if your chin is actually below your forehead and hitting your chest, you're going to want to put a little bit of a neck roll underneath here. Something like a towel rolled up is the perfect size, like a little hand towel. I didn't bring one with me, but you get the idea. And then I recommend that you rest in that position for anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes. It's great for just like passively, in a relaxing way, releasing tension and relieving pain in the neck. It allows your neck to get into that neutral position, and you're not putting any more work and stress into it. This pose, the chest opener, is great for when you're having insomnia, so I highly recommend it before bed. And that's, I think, the end of my demo for today. I just wanted to, well, thank you, Gia, for being here and watching this. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'm going to be adding another video on Wednesday. I'm going to put, I'm going to do some Qigong and some breath work, and I may do another couple oils there, essential oils. And, oh, what else? Yeah, stay tuned. I'll have a few more announcements on Wednesday. I'll have everything more together, but that'll be it for now. All right, signing off. Take care.